Hello everybody, welcome back to another, hopefully it will be another exciting Formula E race live from Switzerland, live from this wonderful airport in Zurich. We're currently in qualifying, only going to be able to bring you onboard shots today due to some spectate camera issues. However, the racing is completely unaffected. So as these drivers start to get some hot laps underway, joining you in the commentary box is going to be me, Dpod Dolphin, and for the time being, Golf and Greg.
Hello.
Anything you're expecting from today's race?
I haven't really gone and watched much of the Formula E drivers recently, so I haven't seen them compete much in this environment. I'm interested in seeing how they all do, and considering lots of these are familiar names to me, and I've raced against lots of these people. But yeah, come race, I won't know how they're gonna do.
Very interestingly, what I've been spotting so far, and I know that the BMW i8 tunes are very not finished at the moment, especially with the engine noises, considering they're meant to be hybrid vehicles, but they have engine noises. The Formula E chassis, these drivers have only really managed to get within 3 seconds of the fastest i8 times, and for a single-seater, yeah, that's very peculiar indeed, where the Junior Series has the faster spec vehicles to the Senior Series.
Yeah, for sure, that's a huge tune issue there, but there's no doubt that, I mean, I've driven both of these, and the FE cars are so much harder to drive. They exceed the limit much more often, or it's easier to exceed the limit with them, rather. And once they're over it, they're really unforgiving, but pretty fun to drive, regardless.
Yeah, everyone has attack mode on right now, which unlocks a lot more power. I don't actually think the attack mode activation zone has been moved onto the track yet, because it's currently just sitting in the middle of the track somewhere. So, as far as I know, I don't think there will actually be attack mode in the race, but everyone has attack mode on for qualifying because it's the fastest mode that you can have on the car.
Yeah. In qualifying, the cars just enter like a permanent attack mode state.
The current fastest time is from Gene 7085 in the McLaren. That's a 1:33.960 so far for P1. P2, that's James Rigby in the Vitesse car, 1:34.731. So that's nearly 1 whole second off. That's about 8 tenths. I believe that Gene just jumped out of their car. Yes, they did. Okay, let's go on board with James Rigby. James Rigby is currently on another lap, which they've just scuffed up. The F1 Doggos has just lost it at the final corner. However, I believe they will be starting another hot lap right now as they cross the line in the E-Spirit car.
Oh, I was looking at Lanner having set a purple middle sector, but he hadn't improved at all. He might have just been on that outlap. I'm not paying attention.
Dempsey Alkion in the Aston Martin, now just coming out of the pits. Pit lane isn't alongside the starting grid around this track in Zurich. It is it runs alongside the tightest portion of the circuit, so you can come straight out of the pits, do a few corners, and ready to start your hot lap. You don't have to do an entire out lap, so it's a lot quicker to get to the start-finish line, which means at the end of qualifying, people will be leaving the pits a lot quicker as well if they needed to reset for whatever reason, because it's just simply a shorter distance.
Yeah, that means drivers will get a lot more chances to set laps. Like, before they would have... Well, actually, it's just about their amount of laps they could potentially do is almost doubled. which is very interesting because there's some people who will take a little bit longer and need more chances to put it together. So this will change up the results a little bit.
Big difference between the KR racing cars at the moment. Scuppens has just managed to spin themselves around. However, their teammate of Taboz is 9 positions higher currently. That's a time difference of around 3 seconds, about 2.5 seconds between the two bright blue cars. Very interesting indeed. They were very on par in pace in Diriyah 2 weeks ago. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out for the Croatian team.
Very true. It might just have been a set of misfortunes so far for Scuppens. We're just going to have to wait and see till the end of the session if that's really where they're at in terms of qualifying pace.
Lanor and Epic Dusk are quite near to each other on the timing board, P3 and P5 for the Fleet team. However, on track they are very, very tight. Going into this right-hander here, they are neck and neck and maybe trying to just aid each other's aero strategies a little bit. That was an E-Spirit going around there as well.
Yep, F1 doggo. Yeah, so far, Fleet and Vitesse doing really good right now. Vitesse being one of the new teams to eye on, like, in general this season. It's very interesting. It's good to see that they're doing good, you know.
So high up. Like, they recently changed their colour, so I'm going to have to get used to that. But currently P2 and P4 for one of the newest teams is very impressive indeed. Gene currently has not been overthrown for that top spot just yet. Still has the fastest time as they spin around trying to do another hot lap. Didn't improve in Sector 1 or Sector 2, so I'm not sure that's really going to change much in terms of getting a faster time. But unless the top runners, so that's like James Rigby, Lanor, Dino Only Jacob, ASDH1, unless they can chop their times off by, what is that, pretty much a second for most of them, I don't think that Gene's really going to have many people in contention for that position.
Yeah, considering we're this far in the quali, everyone's already had a lot of chances to set laps, so considering he's still almost a second ahead, I mean, Gene either had a really good lap or he's just that much better in a qualifying environment. The chances that someone might equal that time are getting lower by the minute, considering we only have 3 left. As I say that though, Lanner's going green.
Lanor may be able to improve, just depends what they can do in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Right next to a Cognizant car, one of the 97 racers. But Lanor has abandoned that lap, so didn't improve in Sector 2, just managed to spin in the little chicane here. Maybe...
he stopped at type, that's interesting.
Yep, so I think Lanor will be going out again. Just rounding the last few corners of the track. Taboz has fallen down a couple positions in the KR racing car. Scuppens has gained a couple positions, now up to P13 with a 137.329. The top 10 has just changed to 10th position. Leader Oblivion has just managed to make it up with a 136.338. Alt GE, their teammate, down in P19 for the Tesla Ryzen team. Gene still undefeated. James Rigby on another lap, but couldn't improve in Sector 1. Gene can't get a better time, so that may seem like with just 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining, that may look like Gene has a pretty good cool on top spot because Gene's not improving, Dino's not improving, ASDH1's not improving, ePrix not improving, Taboz isn't improving, the F1 Doggos isn't improving, Lady Oblivion isn't improving, the original TTB isn't improving, Dolly Skiller not improving. The only people improving so far are Scuppens, Aviator, Dempsey, and Ozone, as well as Polar Bear and the Brand Star, but they are in P19 with a 138, so that's over 4 seconds difference between P1 and P19.
Highly unlikely that they'd fly that far up, considering how many laps they've already done. So
Lanor has disconnected from the game as well, so hopefully they'll be able to reconnect for the race. Currently P3. Faint, on the other hand, has just gone purple in Sector 2, but they couldn't improve in Sector 1. So will that change everything? Will that yellow Sector 1 hinder that purple Sector 2? As they're now around the final corner, let's see what that purple Sector 2 can do. What could they do in Sector 3? Can't see at the moment. There is the start-finish line coming up. The next gantry. That's it. As they cross the line, they move their way up to 3rd place, but they couldn't improve in Sector 3. So that's Sector 2 absolutely storming them.
Absolutely. And Gene actually just improved his lap by a 10th as well. Just a 10th, but
going green in Sector 2 and purple in Sector 3. So that's qualifying now finished. Everyone who is on a lap is going to have to finish this lap. On board with James Rigby. Didn't improve in Sector 1. Christian 09 is the first car to finish with the checkered flag waved. What can James Rigby do? Can't improve in Sector 2. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get ahead of Gene unless they can... Oh, and they've lost it in Sector 3. Getting a little bit oversteery there. That's not going to help. Let's go on board with Epic Dusk, though, because they've improved on their personal best in Sector 1. What can they do in Sector 2? They're about to come to the timing line as they hit the right-hand kink off of this really long straight, completely flat out. You hit the brakes, you go to the left, you go to the right, you go back round to the left. They can't improve in Sector 2. These two 90-degree corners, one right-hander, one left-hander. Now coming through this incredibly tight section, as you can see, weaving all the way around like Diria, but they just smashed into the wall. That's not going to gain them any time whatsoever. That's going to lose them time. One more corner to go. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much in Sector 3 in order to gain any time. 135.197. Does that turn into anything better? No, it doesn't. Still P7 in the fleet.
Yeah, that's basically qualifying over. I'm interested in how Faint did today. Really good qualifying performance before, and he's a new driver to Ion so far as I'm aware. So that's very interesting and good for him.
People now just rounding their way back to the pits.
Where is Gene's teammate?
I don't think Gene has a teammate. Not going to be good for McLaren in the Teams Championship.
For sure. I mean, Gene is quite an interesting driver in his own right as well, though. Being someone who last season in GT3 was he was really fast, and he was competing for high points positions in the odd podium, and so to make the switch to Formula E after the new series restrictions means that he might be in for some really good results here. But it is I think the general consensus is FE's a little bit more of an obscure series compared to the other ones, but I don't think that takes from the fact that it is a pro series and it should be treated that way.
Yeah, these cars are still very quick compared to other series such as Crossbow and GT3.
Yep, they're very hard to drive too. And when you put the challenge of battery conserving into all of this. It is last season when I drove Formula E was like the toughest Ion series I'd ever tried because you have to keep control of such a loose car and also think so much about your energy saving.
And we are going to have a game shut down, probably just to clear the surface. Part of Formula E that people don't really consider it's the battery management. This is something that you don't find in any other league. You don't actually have enough energy really to finish a race. You have to recharge a lot of it back in order to make sure that you get to the end, because you can very quickly expend all your energy by the halfway point in the race, and if you do that, then, well, you just simply can't finish.
Yeah, for sure. And you can also see skill in drivers in how they conserve energy, because there's much better ways than others in conserving in terms of where you choose to let off and where you choose to put the power when you do need it. And so that makes fuel, energy conserving much more tricky than it might sound to someone who hasn't really done it before.
And joining us now in the commentary box, we have Blade Challenger. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Being late.
How much of qualifying did you catch? Have you seen the results?
No, I haven't seen the results just yet, but I'm just about to go and look, and I'm joining up now.
Okay. So
Sorry,
when you have a little look at results, I'd be interested to see your take on how you think it went, especially with Gene having a time nearly an entire second faster than James Rigby.
Oh, interesting there. Just loading up now. There we go. So yeah, Gene, fastest lap, 1.33, 1 minute 33.6. Interesting time. I think that's the what car is that?
That's the McLaren.
The McLaren. Yes, indeed. So yeah, interesting time from him. Are the cameras fixed? Really quickly.
The track mix cameras aren't online, but we do have access to the onboard, so that's how we're just going to be watching today's race. Server shutdown should be coming soon as well. We've had word from the race director, Sengstam, that should be happening, although I haven't seen anything else just yet, but we should be good to go very shortly.
Yeah, exciting day today. Second round, obviously, so I bet we're all very much excited for that today.
I'm having a look now, and I think Sengstam's talking to the senior director of Faster at the moment, just discussing some technical problems. So that's probably why there's going to be a server restart shortly.
I see. So yeah, interesting to see what the qualifying positions are like, because the McLaren, last weekend, they weren't doing very well, were they? They were down out of the points, I think.
Yeah, that was not very impressive at all from that team. However, now, with Gene, they are on pole. So it may just be a track-dependent thing. This track has 3 very, very long straights. 4 if you don't count the kink in one of them. And that sort of track layout just really, some drivers really prefer that and can really excel at getting good exits out of corners, getting good speed, and then also really good at judging braking points. Some other drivers, they just prefer the tight and technical sections of nailing a racing line and being able to make their way around a track. Diriyah, very tight and technical track, very thin, very, very, very small margin for error. Somewhere like here in Zurich, you've got massive wide straights, so a lot of other drivers are going to be faster here than they were in Diriyah.
Yeah, and Lanor, the race winner last weekend, is down in P4. Last weekend, they qualified on pole position and ended up winning the race, so maybe can Gene do the same? We'll have to find out in just a minute, won't we?
Or Lanor maybe will be able to get more pace, I don't know. The best drivers are the drivers that can adapt to any track whatsoever, so we're just going to have to wait and see what really happens.
Indeed, indeed. James Rigby last weekend, they ended up finishing P5 and they qualified P2. So it's a very mixed bag, this qualifying session. No, similarities to last weekend. Like you said, it's a very different track, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a massive
wider.
runway with a massive straight on it, which is where the starting grid is. And then we've got another massive straight down the other side of the circuit. And then we've got another one which leads into the tight section where the pit lane is. So you've really got massive straight, tight and technical, massive straight, tight and technical, massive straight, and then a little wiggly section back onto the main straight, which is where, as I just said, the starting grid is located. And that's where everyone will be starting the race from.
So I'm guessing there'll be a lot less spins, everyone. So you can feel relieved there. There won't be as much spins as
I
last
saw a
weekend,
couple
hopefully.
people just clipping the wall in qualifying, but in the race, everyone should be relatively okay compared to qualifying.
Yeah, that is to be expected, especially since, it's Formula E. It's a very tight technical series, especially with the tracks. A lot of people doing different things. So yeah, we should see a lot more differences than last weekend, and I'm very excited for it, to be honest.
Yeah, compared to other series like me and Greg were talking about, Formula E is very different, not only with the cars, but also with the tracks. These are mainly, apart from here in Zurich and in Valencia, these are completely street circuits. So these are streets of real cities which we are driving around. So that means that they can get very tight, but then also on the wider tracks, such as here in Zurich and in Valencia, it can get very wide. And yeah, that's just Formula E for you. Varies in tracks, varies in drivers, varies in cars. Not so much with cars. They're all the same car, but varies in talent and varies in skill. It's unpredictable. If there was one word to describe Formula E, it would be unpredictable, because you never know how it's going to end up at the end. Like with the season finale, round 11 last season in Cannes, Castronics fell down, came back up, fell down, and then eventually came back up to win the championship. Of course, maybe some performance-enhancing programs in there to aid him slightly, but still, it was a recovery drive.
Indeed, it like last weekend. Obviously, Lanor kept spinning non-stop. It was just quite an interesting one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like same with Ron and
call,
Jacob as well.
My bad.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt anyone. That's my bad. Yeah, Lanner, this qualifying session too has had a few things to say in chat. He doesn't seem so happy with the conditions thus far. So, considering he won last weekend, I mean, that's interesting. Oh.
Very variable, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something we could have mentioned, I think, with the straights is that especially in qualifying, not so much the race, there's a bit of a bigger priority on getting a slipstream to help you through with your laps. Even though these cars don't produce much dirty air, the difference is still noticeable in lap times.
Yeah, no matter what, a slipstream in any league really is just going to help you a lot, because if a car in front of you is punching the air out of the way, that's going to give you a big boost no matter where you're racing. Especially here in Zurich. Especially in Zurich, we have a massive straight. It's 3 massive straights, which is going to be very helpful for slipstream. So if you're not in P1, pretty much, and you keep with the pack, you're pretty much going to be getting slipstream.
It's all going to be about keeping, with the other drivers on the straight. You got to set yourself up into the corners and keep with them, and then keep it going down the straight with them. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? To see how people can keep it up with other drivers, especially when there's a 1 second gap between pole position and second.
Very, very tight. apart from P1, P2, rest of the field, pretty tight. You see everyone through, so from 2nd to 5th, they're all in the 134s. From 6th to 9th, they're all in the 135s. From 10th to 12th, 136s. And from 13th to 18th, 137s. 19th to 21st, all 138s. So 4 seconds over the whole field. However, in the little groups of qualifying that we have, very close together.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting weekend. I can tell you that, everyone. So stay tuned whilst we wait for the race to start. Pretty much.
Everyone being told to line up on the grid.
Here we go.
So we're not going to have a server restart after all, like Sangstam said we would, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as
My
we can
camera's
still
not
get
working
racing
now.
underway.
There we go. I can spectate people. I can spectate one person. Everyone. Oh no, there we go. It's working now. Cool. Never mind then. Ignore me, everyone. So, Gene lining up on pole position. Massive gap to P2. What can we expect, eh?
So, attack mode is going to be disabled at the race start. We just got word from Faster.
Because a lot of people have been getting race attack mode already. Cheeky.
Yeah.
Very cheeky, isn't it?
Attack mode hasn't yet been actually moved onto the circuit. It's currently in the midfield somewhere. So, hopefully that being moved onto the track will be very helpful. Especially for those who want to be able to get a bit more energy.
Yeah, it's going to be... some people didn't do the attack mode in the first place, but most of the people were doing attack mode, to be honest. It's going to be very interesting. So, Dwayne Jacob, where is he lining up today? I think he's lining up in P6, I think? Where is he lining up? They're lining up in P5. I was very close. With Aztech behind them.
Also, for those of you now just joining us, we're not going to have trackside cameras today. Only going to have onboards unless they're fixed magically somehow. I don't know. But yeah, we do not have, well, at least for the time being, we do not have trackside cameras today. So we're going to be stuck with onboards.
Going to be just as good though, everyone. Don't worry about that. Podium. It's going to be an interesting race, this one. Don't worry about that, guys. So don't click off just yet. We're getting started very, very soon. So the fleet's leading Constructors' Championship at the moment. I think so.
The McLaren might actually be able to damage that, certainly. They do only have Gene, who qualified. However, 25 points for a race win, plus 1 point for fastest lap. If the fleets don't do well, that could definitely bite into their lead a little bit, or even overtake them. But it just depends what the points gaps will be at the end of the race, when all the drivers, or hopefully all the drivers, cross the checkered flag, or pass the checkered flag.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I apologise.
Oh, well, it's okay. I'm here.
Well, from Greg doing excellent job in the commentary box.
Depending on who you ask.
Well, if you ask me, I think you're doing a good job. So well done.
Yay.
Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer with people gridding up. Yeah, on board here with Tiboz in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position.
So I see a couple teams here are fielding just one car, or what looks like one car. That just be AMR and McLaren, or are there others? There's lots of blue teams.
I think it might just be McLaren and AMR. I didn't see anyone else with only one car in qualifying. And yeah, it depends if they let non-qualifiers race. Obviously, they'll be sent straight to the back of the grid. But I'm not sure if anyone else will turn up. We did have some disconnects from people. Lanor disconnected, but they seem to have made their way back into the game. Or experience, as Roblox now wants you to call it.
Yeah. Interesting though, isn't it? Should be quite an interesting race.
You see faster there, making sure everyone's gridding up where they're meant to be. I'm not sure whether they're just going to do a faster snap or a jump in, or a jump out, jump in.
So, Vitesse, they're doing pretty well in qualifying, weren't they? Lined up P2 and P6. Probably one of the best qualifiers for a team at the moment.
Yeah, overall combined
them and
points is
Fleet.
pretty high.
So, leading the championship at the moment is Lanel 04 with Jordan Jacob P2 and Fantarol in P3. Although I don't think Fantarol's here today. Let's have a look, shall we?
I didn't see him in qualifying, unless he was farther down the order. No, he doesn't seem to be there. So that was Gene's teammate then, who wasn't here today. That would be Fantatrol.
I see. Still waiting for lights to come on in.
You can see our Waffles and Love My Geordie absolutely stealing the spotlight here as we're on board with Tabos.
There's a bit of a chat going on there. They're on TV.
Waffles has been waiting in the interview box all this time.
Bring them in here for like 1 second and bring them back out.
I think they're doing pretty good. Yeah, we should stay on those camps, see what they tell us about Ion.
See what they have to say.
We can ask Jordy how F2's going. Are you having fun in F2, Jordy?
I have to wait a bit for it to click in.
Yeah. Got a bit of a delay.
Oh, here we go.
Everyone being told to jump out and jump back in as they populate the driver tower.
Better
On
click
board
on
with
someone.
P1. Very sorry, Geordie and Waffles. Just going to have to go P1 as we get ready for the start of the race. Being told to watch the lights.
Here we go.
Yeah, but as they come on now, 4 lights, 5 lights are on, and they go off, and we are away in Zurich, off the line. James Rigby got a very good start there, but as we go into turn 1, on board with Gene, it seems like the McLaren is still in the lead, but barely. The Vitesse getting very, very close indeed. Now going to go into turn 2. What does it look like out front? Neck and neck, pretty much. The gap is very difficult to see because it might not even exist at all. But it looks like the McLaren is still ahead.
Dwayne Jacob got stuck into a wall there. He nearly went right into it there. When he exited, didn't realise how sharp of a turn that was, I don't think.
At that turn there, that's like turn 4, I think. It's a lot tighter than it looks on paper.
Very, very tight. But Lanor doing a perfect job keeping up with Gene here.
James Rigby has fallen down to P4.
Very, very close. Oh no, that's Epic Dude, I think.
It's Epic Dusk.
Epic Dusk up into
Yeah, sorry,
P2.
Epic Dusk.
Now just feeding through the 90-degree right-hander, the 90-degree left-hander, then into this little left-right-left section here, which you take at full throttle. Unless, I don't know, you don't want to, but most people take it at full throttle. Just missing the apex there slightly for the fleet driver. Seems to have fallen back slightly behind 2 KR cars and a couple of Vitesse racing cars as well. But as we cross the line, that Brandstar of Faint is up there. Only 4/10 behind Gene.
Oh wow, Scuppins in P3. Where did Scuppins start?
Scuppins started in the P15, so that's up already by 12 places. A very good start for the KR Racing team.
Absolutely.
Fast
I think
lap as
this
well.
is the Scuppins that Kaikara expected when he signed him to FE.
Last weekend wasn't as good for him, actually. I think he came P8.
Scuppins now up to P2 with the fastest lap.
Wow.
Scuppins. Oh, I was gonna say attack mode, but that's the fastest lap emblem. My bad.
Now on the timing tower, 1/10 behind Gene in the McLaren. But as we now approach the end of Sector 2, I don't know. Scuppins may be falling back slightly. It looked as if Scuppins was ahead of Gene for a moment there, but now on board with the KR Racing car. You could see a lot of drivers ahead. Scuppins now falling down to P5, 7/10 behind the leader, who is still Gene in the McLaren.
He's properly led this race. Still, a lot of people have caught up to him, but he's managed to fight them off. He's fighting one after another here, and he's still doing a fantastic way of keeping this lead. With the Faints behind him in the Brandstar at the moment. Still going on at it.
Dolly Skiller's made up a lot of positions, up into 3rd place now from the 97 Cognizant team.
Seems whoever gets close to Gene and starts losing place, because Scuppins was in P2, now he's down. He was in P5, now he's P3 again. A lot of changing of places in the top 10 at the moment.
Well, the entire field is very close together.
The championship leader of Lanor is down in P13.
7 seconds behind the leader. 1 second is separating the top 5 currently. 2 seconds separating the top 9. Dino has the fastest lap.
There he goes. He got a bad first lap, so he's working very well to get it back behind Epic Dusk at the moment in the fleet. Epic Dusk, is leading for the fleets at the moment. But I think the best team at the moment is going to be the Vitesse, who are running P5 and P6 at the moment.
Overall, a good chunk of points as... Oh, a bit of a server freeze there, but we are still racing. P2 for Brandstar. I think that's the highest that team's ran so far all season.
Yeah, they didn't do very well last weekend, actually. They ended up finishing P7. They still got points.
And the server has shut down.
Typical Orion fashion. We hate to see it.
Not very good. Have to
things out of our control. Make it kind of sad.
So we are joining back, everyone. We will be back in a bit. So it turned out that scare was just a threat for the race, the end of the race. So we will be back, and it's kicked me out again.
Yeah, that old bad server's still open, and so we have to wait for a new one to open up.
Okay. Please bear with us, everyone. Apologies, everyone. It's not mainly our fault here. It's basically Roblox being, well, Roblox.
Can't
To put it
handle
simply.
Ion's coolness.
Yeah,
What can
we're
we
too
say?
cool for that. Roblox they're trying to shut us down. We're like the cool kids in the street, mate. Pull up. Oh dear.
A new server's just opened up.
Yeah, here we go. So we should be back in just a minute, everyone. Although, we just have to wait for Ion to do its thing.
Fasta's back on, so I think now we're waiting on all the drivers to be ready. Looks like most of them already are.
So, I'll run you guys through the grid just before we ended, and it seems we didn't quite catch it on camera. No, we did. Yeah, we did. So, on P1 at the moment was Gene, then it was Faint in the Brandstar, and a Dolus Killer in the 90E, actually. Very well for the 90s. When he started around about... where did he start, shall we? Let's have a look. They started in P16. Wow. A lot of places gained there. Although we have seen a lot of people drop back and a lot of people move up, such as Scuppins, who was P15 and is now in P4, just behind a Dolus Killer. And the other person that started on the front row, James Rigby, is now in P5, so he's lost a couple of positions. Followed by Aztage, he started P6 actually. So he's started and twice in the same position. It should be quite interesting. Duano Jacob started around about P5 and now is in P8. And Lanor, the biggest person that made the most mistakes, was he started in P4 and ended up in P13. So they've lost a load of positions.
So, as we now wait for the race restart, I just realised that I completely forgot to run the intro. So, whilst we wait for that, might as well show you that, if I just get it loaded up quickly, because I didn't make it for nothing. Okay, right, everybody. Here's an intro that I should have showed earlier. There you go, everybody. That's the intro that I should have played earlier, but at least you've seen it now, so I didn't make it for nothing.
There we go.
Oh, and it seems like we may actually be able to have some off-board cameras now as well. Interesting.
Guys, can we get a clap for the Iron team fixing that? Whether that was just them doing it or whether we reset the server did it. We'll find out, won't we?
Hopefully it's more than just one camera. I think it was like New York last season where we just had one camera watching the cars go all the way down the track.
One camera will do.
It was
okay
an
for
interesting
when
camera
they
view.
were around turn 1, 2, 3, 4. But
Yeah.
when they're on the other side of the harbour, it was quite difficult to see them.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting track day today, though.
There you go.
So
you can
it
actually
seems the
see
pits have been
Scuppins.
opened.
Should be driving out shortly. Well, they are driving out. It's a
We'll
matter
find
of
out if they
fact.
work in a second. Are they working? That is the question.
We're about to see as they drive to the grid if the camera changed at all.
Gonna do a race restart from lap 3.
Okay, no, I don't think they change.
At least we have one
Oh, well.
camera.
One camera
It
is all we
just one
need.
camera, isn't it?
Shame. Got our hopes
Well,
up.
at least they could have put it higher. What were they doing? Whatever. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we won't.
What's interesting is they're restarting from lap 3, but they're going to restart with the same amount of fuel as if they were doing a full race distance. In any other series, 3 laps is like negligible, like it barely matters. But in FE, these people will tend to finish with really close margins, and so 3 laps will make a bit of difference in terms of how much drivers will save, and I think more importantly, when they will use attack mode or when they can.
Yeah. They'll take everything they can get, basically.
For sure. That's why they were clamoring so much when the attack mode was left on while they were driving up to the grid.
Yeah.
The qualifying mode was on, and so yeah.
Cheeky. But,
Got my
It's not
Geordies
blame
back.
way.
Yes. We're not Ion TV, Jordy, but I like your enthusiasm. We're just Ion. Are we TV actually?
We're like Ion Media Productions or something. I don't know. I forgot what official name I came up with.
I see. Alright. Well, I posted results for the restart. Let's see.
He's getting quite close there. So quite scary.
So both of the Vitesses are in the top 10. Yeah, we got
Good
Lanner
work
all
with
the way
Vitesse.
P13.
Oh, we're inside him now.
Huh?
We're inside. Oh.
This is the brand new X21 Formula E team. Make of that what you will, but this is Ozone. Currently lined up on the grid next to Inet Tavor in the General Electric car.
Yeah.
Never blue car.
X21. Absolute fan favorites.
It's a nice livery, actually, you have to admit. It's a quite nice livery.
I actually haven't really gone and seen it up close, but from the pictures I did see, it wasn't that bad.
It was quite, yeah. It's a lot happening in it, that's to put it simple.
I like how they put the driver names on this GE Motorsports Halo. Pretty good idea.
Oh, yeah.
A couple F1 teams do it. But I think actually the FE Halo gives you a little bit more leg room to try to do something like that, and it's much more visible. So, top tip livery designers.
Yeah, the Formula
Yeah,
E
sadly
livery, you
like
can
it,
literally
doesn't it?
change everything. The wheels, the seat, the cockpit, the floor of the car, you can change that compared to like other series. Like in F1, you can only change the bodywork, the wings, and the halo.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that means like the FE livery is like it's in 3 parts. It's a bit overly complicated. It's true though, you can literally edit every part of it, the seat if you want to as well. I think the seat's a bit more interesting of the things you can edit, but yeah, it's a very complicated UV map to work on, and so anyone who can make a good livery, props to them. Time consuming.
It's formally, I think, is one of the more exciting leagues in F1, to be honest. A lot tighter tracks, more likely stuff to happen. Like as you saw in Diriyah, there's a lot of people spinning non-stop.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention who, but a lot of people were spinning quite a bit. Mainly the front runners, it was.
For any new viewers, if you do wish to join any leagues or anything like that, you just make sure that you join the Discord server. All of the information can be found there. Links to Discord servers and other places where you can join the community, such as the Roblox group. All of them links can be found in the description below, which is right under that lovely red subscribe button. Also the grey button with blue outlined join button, if you want to click on that.
Really helps
I
us
just
out.
noticed that button. Oh, that button's gonna cost me.
Buster asking everyone to put the tyres behind the yellow line, just so everyone's lined up equally. Laps being set. So it'll be the original 25 laps with 3 knocked off, making 22. Being asked to jump out and jump back in.
So we should be starting in just a few seconds, guys. Excitement shall begin once again.
Gene once again starting from the front.
Led pretty much the whole first part of the race. Did very well, actually.
Yep. Generally, it's a little bit harder to stay like in the lead just because you don't have any slipstream to sort of help you if you make a mistake or just help you stay behind the other person. So if you're able to stay in the lead and maintain it, then you're pretty good. I mean, yeah. It's a little bit easier to follow than it is to lead.
Yeah. I'm guessing the leading the whole race did put a little bit. Excuse me. And we're about to start. I'll stop.
So here come on the lights. Once again, 5 lights are now on, and they go out very quickly. And everyone here in Zurich is underway. Good start from the McLaren. Can't see anyone coming up behind them just yet. So it's a very dominating lead so far from Gene. Now rounding.
Scuppens in P2, followed by Thane.
Yep, now rounding into turn 2, you could just see the Brand Star popping their nose ahead there, as well as the KR racing car, very tight. What's going to happen through here? This is the tightest corner on the track. From what we can see, seems to be flowing through there quite nicely, but I think that might be a Brand Star in the lead.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, he is.
It seems the fleet cars are getting involved as well. Yeah, the fleet car is leading now, actually, followed by the Vitesse and the 9TE. Very close between there. It's going to be a lot of people.
It's close. It's so hard to tell. The Vitesse car and the Brand Star are inside of each other, heading down the third straight of the track. Now this right kink. Oh, it's so tight. It's impossible to see because it currently says that Dino is actually in the lead of the race. Well, it doesn't look like that, but if the timings say it is, then it is.
It's beyond close right now.
Corner.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's the top 6 is spread by half a second. That's how close it is, that, ladies and gentlemen.
The top 10, so the top 11 is spread by 1.1 seconds. It's so close.
Yeah, beyond close. It's 4 tenths to Lanod to Aztech. So the top 10 is very, very, very slowly pulling away, but they're doing it. As
It's
Lando
very
catches up,
interesting to
actually.
see
Never
the
mind.
different lines that different drivers are taking down the main straight, because you have some people who are trying to stick in the centre, some people who are leaning over to the left, and then some people who are leaning over to the right. I think you'd be better off on the right, because then you're set up for the racing line that takes you into turn 1. But the last corner, turn 21, that flicks you all the way over to the left-hand side of the track. So some drivers are actually going to have to try taking diagonal lines. I think that, in my opinion, that's the fastest line you can take through there.
Yeah, and I think Gene is just taking the lead back, actually, coming off that very long straight, fighting Scuppins, though. And I think that's also not Scuppins, Dwayne Jacob and Scuppins, actually, yeah. So that's coming into that corner. Very long straight once again. He's using that slipstream from Scuppins. Gene goes right into still in P2, though. I think they're slightly pulling away, actually, Scuppins.
Oh, Scuppins may have fallen back slightly.
Oh, dear. A lot of slipstream there, though. That's probably the breezing towards it. But it's still very close between all these drivers. There's just a lot going on right now. The 90Es taking the lead slightly. The ePrix taking the lead. You can't tell who's taking the lead. We might as well just say it's a fight going on.
The top 2 positions are currently shared for times. That's why you can see 5 bars and a dot and the word leader next to Gene's name. That's because Dino and Gene are on par for the lead of this race as things stand. F1 Doggos has also taken the fastest lap currently at the last timing line. 1/10 behind the leader, but let's see how that all changes. It seems like they're very far down now. Dropped to 2.4 seconds behind the leader in P11 from third. P2 shared between a Dolly Skiller and Feint. I don't know where that cognizant car has come from, but they've definitely come from somewhere. Absolutely storming through the field.
Yeah, it's still very close with 3 laps in once again, and it's still beyond what we can see. We can't even see who's ahead, who's fighting for the lead, and who's not. It's
Scuppins in P2, 700ths of a second behind Epic Dusk in the fleet. What is happening here?
It's just too close to call, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, you can't see. I think on my camera, Scuppins is leading, but I bet it's way different for D-Pod at the moment due to vision lag.
It's like a Dolly Skiller is somewhere, Epic Dusk is somewhere. You can't tell. We're just going to have to judge this off of the timing line. And as they go through that, like 1/10 between the fleet and the KR racing car. But through this chicane, it seems as if the McLaren has now managed to make their way into the lead, and there's an E-Spirit in there as well.
So close, so close. Nobody has made any serious mistakes yet. It's all just mainly, it's unlike Diria, nobody's pulling away. It's all still so close. It's fantastic to see.
Something to report on though, Blondie Bear YT has disconnected from the game. They're now running all the way down in P20, cannot rejoin the race, so that's now only 19 cars running. That would have been one of the General Electric Audi e-tron cars, so now only one GE car remaining.
There seems, it's literally, on the straight, it looks like a snake's going down the straight because they're all swerving to lose the other slipstream, but they're all going right along with each other, so it looks like there's a snake going along the track.
Janor has taken the fastest lap in the fleet.
Oh, P6 for him, still very close. It's starting to spread out a lot more though. So P5 is 9/10 behind now, so it's just the top 4 that's still very close. But it's so close at the moment. You can't tell who's winning.
Speaking of, I don't think it was noted, but Epic Dusk, who was in the lead at some point a couple laps ago, is now all the way in P16, 9 seconds down. I think that must be one of the first major mistakes of the front pack.
Wow. Yeah, 9 seconds behind now. He's got the fastest sector 1 though. So he's doing pretty well to get back up there, hopefully.
Lost around 8 seconds, so it couldn't have been anything too dramatic. Probably just caught out one of the wheels on a wall somewhere, or maybe got lodged on a piece of curb and just lost a lot of speed, so they had to get back up to speed. That's probably what that was. But then running up into P14, so already gaining a lot of positions there. The top 10 now separated by 2.3 seconds, so the gap between them drivers has expanded by 100% now, so that's now 200% of the size it originally was around lap 2 of this race, so really starting to spread out now. However, Feint has just taken the lead for Brandstar.
Fantastic work there by the Brown Star, but it's still got to fight for it with the other drivers. They're all wanting that bone, but one's running away with it slightly. It's about 1/10 now. That's the biggest gap we've seen for the lead yet. So it's still very, very close.
Oh,
As you see,
looping round the
Jean's still
tightest
fighting.
corner now.
Whoa, nobody seems to be making mistakes at the moment. It's just Epic Dust that I've seen made a major mistake. As
Gene
Lano,
has
who
made their way
started
back up into the
P15.
lead.
Oh, they're doing very well. And it's 0.16 tenths at the moment between him and the leader. Between Fate and the leader, sorry. Fate seems to be the one that's chilling out the most, to be honest. You know, Gene seems to be wanting... Everyone else is fighting for it. But he's consistently running on the podium step. So he's doing a fantastic job to keep it with them. No major mistakes. Just have to wait till someone starts to pull away before we can start seeing. Oh, we
Dino's
start
up
to
into
calm down
P2.
because I'm running to stay. So close at the moment. As such, one of the person that spun the most last weekend into P2. It's the Vitesse. I think it's P2 and P3 for the Vitesse. Still a fantastic race for them.
ASDH1
Congrats to
is
them.
very much on the rear diffuser of Gene. James Rigby setting a purple sector 2. Very impressive performances now starting to come from this orange, grey and white team.
Very close still. You can't judge who's winning. But at the moment, fastest lap goes to James Rigby. He set a faster sector 2 and an improved sector 3. And I think that's Dwayne Jacob trying to fight for the lead there. Going very close. It's mainly the top 4 who are starting to pull away very, very slightly though. There's not much in it.
P2 is currently shared by Dino and ASDH1. 0.4 seconds between the both of them to P1 at the last timing line. James Rigby only 1/10 behind for the other Vitesse car.
Wouldn't it be interesting if this went on for the whole entire race? You know, if maybe because some people are tying on times because it's so close. What if there's a tie at the end of the race?
We
Maybe
already had that before in Sanya.
Could be very close so far. 3/10 now. Gene is slightly pulling away. He's doing very well to keep it. He's gone to the inside line instead of the outside line. Just trying to get rid of them on the slipstream. And it's working great for him because he's going into these corners very fast at the moment.
Oh,
As a
and
Adolis-
Gene
he
spun!
spun!
Gene spun!
Oh,
That's going to lose them
that's what a
loads
great
of
race it has
places.
been.
Now definitely going to be out of the top 10 for the McLaren. Are they going to be out of contention for the win? This is only lap 6 of 22, so we're just going to have to wait and see.
yeah.
A lot of time to be gained back though. They're going to be pushed down a load of positions.
I did mention at the beginning that the 3 laps will make a difference in their energy, and so far we're about a quarter of the way through the race, and they're all above their targets for energy, just about everyone in the top 10. And so if the battery consumption rate goes as it does, these people can be driving all out for the rest of the race.
It's very close though. Still a lot. I think nobody's really used attack mode yet, have they? So I wonder if they're still conserving.
I don't think
first
attack
person
mode
attack
isn't
mode
on the
is-
track. I don't think it's actually... I think off to the
right.
right of the screen there, I think I can still see it off the track. So they did say attack mode would be disabled for the start of the race. I'm not sure whether they were planning to bring on some way of activating it. I'm not sure what the race directors were planning, but as things stand, you can't activate attack mode. Scarpham's made their way up into the lead. However, it looks as if James Rigby's in the lead with their teammate right behind them, but we're going to have to see what that looks like when they cross the timing line, which is coming up just now. Oh, it says
Dwayne
Dino's in the
Jacobs leading,
lead.
actually. That's just how close it is. Vision lag is properly making it difficult for us to judge who's going to be in the lead when the timing zones come along. So it's Dwayne Jacob now in P1, followed by James Rigby and SH in P3. But it seems to be changing because in my camera, Dwayne Jacobs fighting Lanor. So it's still just very close at the moment. I think SH is leading the race though, coming across the line in a minute. So, the person P19 is a minute behind, but I'm guessing that's quite a lot of gap. As Gene sets the fastest lap.
A lap
Over
time
the
around
line,
here
the
is
Tesco
around
1 and
what?
2.
Go on, Greg.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that. Vitesse have gone 1 and 2 over the line. Really good race for them so far.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A lap around here is around 1 minute and 30 seconds. So as soon as people are starting to hit that mark, so that's around 90 seconds, probably I'd say 93 maybe, around 93 seconds is where you're going to start seeing the back markers being lapped by the front runners. However, for a spec series league, where there's no development between cars, and they're all exactly the same car, and you can't have different setups, that's kind of not really
It's
what you want to be putting on your CV to say you're a good racing driver.
Right.
You're all in the exact same vehicle. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So if you're running behind, that's not really good. You're not going to want to brag about this, of
Look
course.
at Gene. 3 laps ago or something, he was like 9 seconds down, and now he's back in the lead pack.
Just
Goes to show how
absolutely
powerful the
storming.
slipstream.
He's so free.
Oh, he's making a
How?
mistake there. He's got a bit of rear end. Still very close. Oh, I think someone spun. I think that's Dwayne Jacob. I think no, that's not Dwayne Jacob.
No, that would be the F1 Doggos if that was an E-Spirit.
I think so. I don't know.
Seems like it. I don't know.
I think they did have a little bit of a rear end. Oh no!
Please, you can't do this, Roblox.
Stop praying! Stop praying!
I'm in
Stop
pain.
praying!
I am.
No!
Everyone spam
Stop
the
praying.
prayer emoji in chat, please.
Pray, pray, pray.
No, Roblox. We were gonna do anything. They let us down.
Oh no!
Well then.
Ladies and gentlemen, D-Pod's had to have a little moment away from the microphone. I guess he just went quiet for a second.
You may not know it, but Deepal's a very angry man.
Oh, he's just murdered many families. I'm joking.
Oh no, you're just exposing me.
His family's hiding.
Eye on competitive murder out soon.
Yeah, it's still very. We'll have to see what happens then, ladies and gentlemen. It's second restart. Don't cry, please.
It's okay to shed a tear.
Yeah, I'm telling myself as
Yeah.
well. Oh dear. So, what was the grid order? Shall we have a look? Before it finished. Maybe it will spread out this time. We'll have to find out. Okay, so James Rigby was on P1, and then it was Dwayne Jacob 1/10 behind, followed by Faint in the Brandstar, Aztage in Vitesse. Vitesse having a fantastic race so far, haven't they? And then Scuppins in P6, Taboz in P7, and on P8, the F1 Doggo P9, and Adolis Killer in P10. So P10 was 9 seconds behind James Rigby. So we are starting to see it spread out a little bit, which is pretty good.
Exciting. Indeed. This restart is going to help... what's that? It's going to help Gene very much in the McLaren after their little mistake, which made them fall back. Directors are now just having a little chat in management.
Gene was already back in the front pack by the time the crash happened.
I know, but
Yeah,
they weren't in the
catch up.
lead of the race, so starting on the grid again
They were
into
within
turn
a
one.
second, though. A second's enough, but yeah, I think this will help all those who were like more than a few seconds behind the front pack, because by the time the server had ended, there was that front pack of I don't know how many people, like 5 or 6, that was very separated from everyone else. So those who want another chance will get that, but I'm interested in what they're going to do about energy consumption, because the more this restarts, the less that'll matter. I mean, at this rate, it might not even matter anymore at all, and people will be able to go full throttle the whole race without having to worry about conserving.
Yep. As I think the pits have just opened, so they should go start lining up in a minute. Never mind, I am stupid.
Okay, Charles.
So, oh dear, don't pull that. That was a simple card. Don't use it.
Sorry, I had to. I'm
It's
obligated.
fine. It's an obligation. Don't worry.
Yes.
Respect.
Bit of a
So,
letdown. Don't get to watch some ham conservation. There was always that. That separated good FE drivers from good drivers in general, in my opinion. It's what made the results so interesting last season. When you had lots of top-line Ion drivers doing FE, was just how much better one could conserve energy than others, because it made such a big difference how you did it and whatnot. So, though the drivers probably like this, the drivers, I think,
Yeah,
at least as a driver, when we had server restarts, when we didn't have to worry about energy anymore, we loved an all-out battle of pure pace. These ones probably like it too, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it all unfolds.
so sadly we don't have attack mode, so it won't make it even more strategic. It'll just be a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Drive or to drive or to not to drive.
Mm-hmm.
That is their question.
I think so far none of them have really taken much effort to conserve, I don't believe. So maybe the results in the general running positions won't change too much. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Should be quite exciting. Hopefully once we start up again. Apparently there's a job for hire, everyone. Fan kicker. That is a new job. That was a joke. Don't take it seriously. Don't go
Yeah.
DMing faster.
Someone mentioned in the stream chat, what is War on Wheels going to do about this one default? All the crashes.
Oh yeah. We'll just have to
Do
wait
like
and
Drive
see.
to Survive and put a bunch of sick sound effects and like make it really dramatic. You know, the server crashes cut to like fast in an interview and it's like Ion seeing
No,
some
you
very
could do like
dark
a-
days.
Just
Might be
as
seeing
soon
the
as
end
the
of
server
road
crashes,
racing as
just
we
like
know it.
scream red flag. Oh, it's a red flag! No. There must be a massive crash, and just don't include the crash, you know? Or just getting like an act to crash the car for you. Simple. Smack it in there. Don't worry about it.
So I
kind of.
I think at the moment the directors are looking into ways of making sure that nobody malicious can join the game. Hopefully that will sort out the issues that we're having.
Waffles wants to comfort you, D-Pod. He insists you're gonna cry and become mad. Shoot, do I kill him for you?
I don't know.
Maybe we shouldn't discuss that here.
The fact you said, I don't know, we should get a therapist, mate. The fact that you're saying, I don't know, not no, means something to me.
What kind of overdramatic sound effects will we use for a server crash in War on Wheels?
I don't know. I could get some like
atomic bomb sounds.
I could get some stock footage of a server like combusting or something. I don't know. I'll see what there is available.
Right. There's a
Just like the whole track
subheading
and beat
for Roblox
and just like
servers,
put it on fire.
Monterey, California. Show the stock footage. Yeah, you know
like
the
the
sound
building
effect when there's
collapsing?
like, yeah, the sound effect where there's like a big power outage in a warehouse or something. It goes boom like that.
Oh yeah,
Shut it down.
All the lights turn off one by one.
Quite interesting.
Right.
Roblox server crash.
Just put in clips.
put like
of driver freezing, another driver freezing, and just like all these sound effects to create commotion. This is great. War on Wheels is gonna make
Interview the
bank
Roblox
off this.
owner. Oh, okay. Interview the Roblox owner. I'm guessing.
Right.
Like, so why did you shut down the game?
Ion's become a force to reckon with, and we don't think Roblox as a platform can really support this anymore. We don't. Yeah.
I don't have. Apparently, I don't have permission to join this experience now. I no longer have permission, ladies and gentlemen.
do. Really? Oh, they put on group permissions for the game probably, so only people who have roles in the Ion Racing group can join the game. The role
Are you in the
or, I
group
mean,
Blades
rank of driver.
Challenger?
I'll have to go check, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I'm
Here we
able to
go.
roll you if you're not. Just don't worry too much about that.
I am in this group.
Are you ranked? Let me check.
I'm a fan, apparently.
Oh, yeah. So they restricted fans from joining, I guess.
No.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Ion Private Server. This isn't a private server. Whatever. I have to find the Ion Racing group. There we go. Configure
Put me as
group
marketing manager. No,
members.
put me as Supreme, my guy. Wear some Supreme stuff and I might get Supreme.
Bladed. What's your username?
Blade Challenger, just
Blade.
no capitals.
Okay. What? Your username comes up blank when I look it up in the group.
No capitals, no
Yeah.
spaces.
I think I'm gonna give you officials. Are you would
that
that
might be
count
good
as an
enough.
official? I don't know.
I would count. I think Ion Official is the same thing, isn't it?
Oh,
Have
it
an
has
Ion Officials
really
rank in game.
it has this old developer with the official role in the group, so yeah, I don't think it matters.
Oh no. Anyways, back to the tent.
Right. I hope you guys in chat and the spectators have been waiting for this. Have been entertained at least a little bit. We don't like it as much as you guys. Do not worry. We'll be back racing soon, hopefully.
Hopefully, there's a key word in that sentence, ladies and gentlemen. And that is in the form of hopefully. So we should start soon. Let's hope.
The grid's going back to line up.
Here we go.
But if the server crashes again when the game is group restricted, then it's kind of proof that it's not a person. There's always a theory that someone was trying to sabotage the...
Unless it is a driver. Or a team
Maybe
staff
a
that's doing it.
driver or a team member.
We'll have to find out, won't we?
Yep.
Oh. Zurich.
Oh, we have to see about people who can't make it in.
Gonna
Which
take a little
will
while
be
later.
an issue.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, they've done it again.
Back at it again in the wrong neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I keep saying ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know why. I'm not that funny. Why crash? Because death. Pretty simple. Oh, people are falling on the ground. I bet that brings happiness to D-Pod's eyes. I think he's alive, D-Pod.
Excuse me. I would very much disagree.
Oh, dear. Talk about an exciting stream. First 1 minute it's beyond exciting and there's so much happening. And now it's... So how's your day?
I mean, I've been sitting here streaming Ion stuff, so...
I didn't plan to do much Ion related today, and I spontaneously decided to come commentate FE.
You're very much welcomed. I guess. It's up to D-Pod, I think.
Dream.
I'm just trying to get back in the game.
you not join the game?
I'm trying to join.
Oh, maybe you don't have the role. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. A female dear.
Never fear, I'm
Oh, it
here
is.
and I'm in the game. Whoopity-doo.
Ladies and gentlemen, excitement is beyond belief. So it seems we are going to be lining up on the grid in a second, or people are lining up
Oh,
now,
but
actually.
my other account doesn't have permission to join. That's
Wow.
helpful.
You must get him in the group.
Let's just...
So let's quickly, whilst they sort that out, I'll quickly go through the grid for the start. So P1 would be James Rigby, followed by Dwayne Jacob in the E-Spirit in P2. Faint in the Brand Star, tied with Aztech, is going to be in P3, I think. Aztech in P4. Gene is in P5. He was leading the race in the first part, but now is in P5. Very close scrap, though. Scuppins and Taboz will be lined up P6 and P7 for the KRR team. P8 is Lanor, followed by the F1 Doggo, Dwayne Jacobs' teammate, who is in P7. No, P9, sorry. Adolis Killer and Chris Zahn take P10 and P11, whilst Epic Dude, although his teammate is in P8, is lining up in P12. And then Volt and Leader are in the P13 and P14 part of the grid. And Dempsey is in P15. Then there's a few other people, basically. So, such as the original TTB. And I think that's Aviation Chad. No. Aviator is in P17. Ozone, P18. Inept in P19. And people behind that are out of the race after disconnecting. So, exciting race. Obviously, we're probably going to get back into a very quick, basically very quick fight once again. And we should be getting camera views very soon whilst they add him to the grid. So, lots of things happening in the first part of the race. Whereas the lead was switched multiple times. Gene was fighting for it, Scuppins, Dwayne Jacob, a lot of people, to put it simply. It seems we should be starting in just a second. Hopefully we can get the cameras in just in time. But yeah. So we got Faint was fighting for it as well. Although Faint was I don't know whether this is on purpose or not, but he was staying out of the lead. Mainly because, I think it was because of the slipstream. Because if you get in the lead, you're basically giving other slipstream and you're losing positions. So it's an interesting strategy, to be honest. Maybe just wait to the end of the race. Obviously, we've got 11 laps to go. Well, about 12 actually, to be honest, to put it, including the final lap. But yeah, it should be quite fun to watch. I think the race should be starting in a minute. I think they may just be waiting for us, though. And it's not our fault, ladies and gentlemen. It's not our fault here in Ion Racing. This is mainly Roblox's server and a few trolls coming along. We think that's the theory. But yeah. obviously there has been new roles put in place due to due to quite a few things since trolls coming along sometimes trying to crash the game. We don't know if it's for sure like that though. And it seems Depot Dolphin Camera has joined the game. Now that is exciting. Is it working now?
Yeah, I should be in the game. Should be all good to go. Just gonna get in position here so we can bring you some.
I'm out manually ranking a lot of people.
I'm
there we
guessing
go. I'm
we're
ready to
waiting
go.
for a few people to be ranked. Seems yeah. All right, exciting. We're getting back up and going, and the lights are about to start. I'll let Depot take it from here.
So as they do start to come on, 5 lights now on. And after a very long time compared to all the other ones that we've had, we are finally off and away in Zurich yet again. James Rigby leading into the first turn in the Vitesse car. There's an eSpirit and a Brandstar trying to get involved as well. That would be Dino, and I think that would also be Feint. There's also some fleets trying to get involved in the action here. Very close together as we now round through turn 4.
Very close still. A lot of people making a few mistakes, and there's a fleet into the wall. I think that's Lano04. Yes, and there's another cognizant of Chris Zun09. A very tight corner, very blind as well. So it's caught 2 people out already on the opening lap, so that's going to be quite hard for them to catch back up. As James Rigby still leading, followed by Gene and Dwayne Jacob. So very close still. About 7 tenths though from James to Gene. So we'll have to find out what happens next. As tied for P6 is Feint and Azh, who are about nearly a second behind. But I'm guessing the slipstream has got them all the way back up, though. So, James Rigby still leading. Dwayne Jacob P2, Gene P3, Scuppins P4, Feint P5. So very close. Around about 4 tenths separate the top 5. But I think I've just saw someone spin. I don't know. I think that was one of the KRRs. I think it was to Boz. No, I think it was just a slight mistake.
Could have been to Boz or Scuppins.
Very close. Yeah, Scuppins went on after I saw it. But I think Scuppins is now leading the race, followed by Gene. Very close indeed. First lap as Scuppins is now leading.
Oh, it's saying that Scuppins and Dino are currently sharing the position.
So just like last race, it was a very, very close once again. Gene holding out in P3. Feint all the way down in P5. So not doing as good as he was, but I think he's back up in to the top podium positions now, I think. And hopefully going to get that slipstream down the main straight. Doing well for the Brandstar team. And I think he is the only Brandstar drivers here today. Just like last weekend. I mean, last race, sorry.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago in the last Block B weekend. This is Lanor, still in P16, 9 seconds behind the leader now because of that little touching of the wall that they had. Fleet now only having 1 driver in the points in P10. That's going to be Epic Dusk. But only 1 point so far, as the KRs are now sharing P2.
Still very, very close. They're all right behind Gene though, so Gene is holding them off slightly, but they're being fought off by the eSpirits and I can't remember. Brandstars and Vitesse. Sorry. They're tied for P6 at the moment. Feint, James Rigby and Dwayne Jacob. So it's still just like last race. Very, very close. They're all fighting for that podium positions. Oh, the lead.
Oh, this fastest lap is jumping around, but at the moment it's Adoli Skiller who has got it, made their way up into P3 when they crossed the line.
Very, very close still. Half a second. Dwayne Jacob being behind Gene. So it's just so close, isn't it? You can't judge who's where and where is who. But Gene is still leading. everyone else getting that slipstream going down this long straight. Seems prime overtaking zone, this one, for the slipstream. Just like the main straight one, but this one leads into a very tight corner. So it's whoever breaks the latest has the biggest kahunas and can take that position.
It's very hard to see. I think Gene has just managed to make their way out into the lead yet again in the McLaren, but as we've seen over the last 11 laps of this race, this lead changes sector to sector, so I won't be surprised if another team and another driver manages to forge their way up into the top spot, as P3 is currently shared by Dolly Skiller and Dino Only Jacob.
Still, the Vitesse are doing fantastic this weekend, as well as the KRRs and the eSpirits doing really well. Top teams, although the team that is leading the Constructors' Championship, I think that's Fleet at the moment, they're down in P8 and P16. Although Lionel does have the fastest lap.
That is more points for Epic Dusk. You only get the point for fastest lap if you're in the top 10. So at the moment, that's no points for Lanor, as the fastest lap just transfers to his teammate Epic Dusk, who's moved up to 7th. So more points for Fleet. However, at the moment from Lanor, absolutely nothing.
Faint's still keeping it on those podium positions. He's doing a fantastic job, to be honest. Probably one of my driver of the day is keeping it in them podium positions no matter what, pretty much. Hasn't taken the lead yet, though. Gene's still holding off, though. He's done fantastic this weekend, to be honest, so far. He's taken pole position and is pretty much leading most of the race, followed by James Rigby, though. But he's now lost a bit of the lead. And it looks like in the camera, Dwayne Jacob is leading the race, followed by Gene, followed by James Rigby. Oh no, that's F1 Doggo, sorry. And it's just swerving around the track, trying to get each other slipstream. Still going at it. As you can see, it's just no matter how much they swerve, they all follow each other around the track. It does slow the others down a little bit, but it just slows down the entire grid. So you're better off just staying on the main line.
It's very distracting when you have cars inside of you. So those who are easily distracted, at least at the front, probably aren't really enjoying this experience right now. However, being inside of each other, if you drop back slightly, it does give you the slipstream advantage to your rival in front, as long as they don't have someone else in front of them. So could be advantageous, but also could be a big disadvantage to those who struggle to see the track limits, which are the walls in this case, when they are completely surrounded by their rivals.
Actually,
Yeah,
it's not 100% true. Sorry for interrupting. But because of vision lag, you're farther ahead on your screen than where everyone else sees you. So to these guys in the front, if you're like... so the front pack, which is within a tenth of each other, each of them on their own screens, they appear to be in the front, and they actually think they're driving in clean air. And everyone who they're battling with is behind them on their screens. That's what vision lag does.
True,
So that's actually an interesting thing. Everyone here thinks they're P1 or can be P1.
False
unless
hope.
they know about vision lag. Yes.
Just giving everyone false hope here, all the way from P1 to P7.
Imagine if it was like this in Formula 1, though. That would be very interesting. As they're still going at it, 5 laps in,
Right.
and the top 10, sorry, the top 9, all by a second. So very close, as the eSpirits seem to be dominating this race, to be honest, at the moment. P1 and P2.
That can easily change, though.
Yeah,
Gene can get back up ahead. The KRs might be able to do something. Fleet, as I've already shown, are very good front runners, as it seems as if Epic Dusk is in the lead at the moment. As we cross the line now, we'll be able to see how that changes. But now it looks as if F1 Doggo's ahead, and there's a McLaren in the way. Epic Dusk leading the race.
Still very close. When it comes to the end of this race, we're not going to be able to tell who wins. It's going to be down to the leaderboard, basically. No matter what we can do, it's just going to be like that. But Gene is holding it nice and still. As Faint, who I was saying was probably one of my favourite drivers for today, is down in P8. But it's still just 2 tenths.
One
So it's
second
just- it's just
separates the
so
top
close.
9, however, so you've got to consider that top 9 positions, big difference in number, but in terms of time, the gap is pretty much non-existent.
It is all down to who can keep it ahead.
Especially with
packs
people
this
like
close
Faint and
together,
ASDH1, they're sharing the times at the moment, so they're both sharing P6.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
With the pack this close together, everyone who's within the second of each other, so the top 9, because of the slipstream, they're all easily able to recoup positions in case they lose any. So literally anyone within the top 10, say for Scuppins, is able to go for the lead, even if they just have like a couple of good corners. That's enough to send them up like halfway through the order. And that's what's going to make this really, really intense.
It's just the end of the race. We're not going to be able to see who wins. It's going to be the leaderboard that tells us. It's so close like
Yeah.
that.
And
There's a
Dolly
P3
Skigger makes
being
their way up
shared.
into the top 3.
It's just like you just said. It's just like no matter what, you just have to keep it. Good few good corners can keep you going, and that's what they've been doing the whole time. I'm so surprised they're still together after so long, because usually mistakes would spread them out, but nobody is making mistakes. And I just see, never mind, someone just did make a mistake. I think that was the F1 doggo.
Yes, also, they don't have to conserve. They're driving as hard as they can.
It's just the fact that these drivers are still going after so long is that they're doing so. It's just shows to show how competitive Ion is and how professional a load of people are in this, and it's just very close.
On that
Before
note,
your
we
alarm
have
goes
seen
off.
it. We have seen things being thrown around before by several people that Formula E isn't as good as other leagues because, well, especially this season because of serious restrictions. The actual talent pool for it is lower than other leagues. And while I slightly agree with that, there are definitely more talented drivers in other leagues. The overall talent level in Formula E is pretty even and consistent, because if you look at it in leagues such as F2, GT3, F1, you have a load of drivers being lapped after the first few laps. We're now on lap 7 into the third part of this race after the restart, and the slowest driver is only half a lap down on all of the other drivers, and the top 10 are separated by 5 seconds, the top 9 separated by 2.5.
Yeah, I do agree that F1 is a lot more interesting due to they're not very close sometimes. Like, in a way, it's mainly down to strategy. But with Formula E, now that there's no, I don't think it's just because there's no strategy really. It's just push. I think it's way better. I think I just see someone spin. I think that was one of the. I think it was one of the e-spirits, but I don't think so. Actually, never mind. Ignore me. But yeah, it's just mainly down who can push the hardest and keep the car going. Because if you push and you make a mistake, well, you're getting mugged. But it just goes to show that these drivers are not making mistakes, and they are at the same time still going very quick.
And even those who have made mistakes, such as Gene, they managed to make their way back up into contention after being several seconds down. So these drivers are all on pretty much the same level. I'd say at least those in the top 15, very consistent. Outside of that, you do see some drivers start falling back. However, they are still battling with people.
As I see, there's a spin. That's a spin. That's to Boz in the KRR. Although they did catch it, I think. They did a 360 and caught it. And I think the servers just crashed.
It
No.
froze for a second, but we
Never
are running
lose
again.
hope. Never lose hope.
That was actually Scuppins. I have to apologise. Scuppins was the one who spun.
Really?
My heart dropped. I saw the
What a
freeze.
shame for the KRRs, though. Scuppins was on for a great result, and yeah.
At the
Tracks like
moment.
this,
They are
cars
still
like
in the
these-
points, however.
Yeah,
Fantastic
just
to
barely.
see.
Just barely. They probably wanted more this weekend, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than last weekend, though, you have to admit, because their last weekend was absolutely not as good. They're nothing like their Formula 1 team last weekend, where it was
Yeah.
completely different.
But they know the drivers they have, and I think they're pretty good. And yeah, I think Hikara wants more and expects more, or knows they can have, but doesn't necessarily.
Oh, and the other KR has
Just as I
spun
was
round.
saying
That's
that.
to Boz.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Both KRs spinning
Oh,
round
shit.
within a
How good
lap
they
of
were.
each other.
Oh, at the moment it's just a Vitesse 1-2 with H leading and James Rigby. Never mind, they've just been split by Dwayne Jacobs. So it's still so close, ladies and gentlemen. It's just fantastic to see how, although a lot of talent is being put into this, and it's still just so close. As Faint, who was just P3, is now in P7, just goes to show how small the margins are. And it's just, oh dear. I think it could be a Vitesse double podium if they can keep up the pace they're doing right now. They're holding on very closely actually to it, so it's doing very well at the moment.
The pack's so tight though. Still, anything can happen.
Indeed, it's a 1-2 for Vitesse and a 2-3 for the
4. Yeah, it's actually
kind
a
of.
tie for P4. Or over the
Yeah,
line,
it's
at least.
very
The
nice.
F1 Doggo and Epic Dust.
If the Vitesse can get a 1-2, that'll be the constructors lead, I think. But if the eSpirits can keep doing what they're doing, then it's the constructors lead for them. It's just I can't keep saying that for sure though. I have to say.
Okay, so from the line and through Sector 1, they've maintained these positions. Is actually pretty interesting. I was expecting it to shuffle a little bit more than that. But yeah, it's still the Vitesse eSpirit.
Very, very close. Top P5 is Gene at the moment, but they are working their way back up. I think that's Fane about to take the lead on my camera, but that's just vision lag. I don't know
in
yet.
front on mine.
It just all depends.
So
Gene makes her way up to P2 shared with Dino. It's so close.
Oh. Just can't judge, ladies.
Man.
This is just so good.
At the end of this race, some
terms
people are
of
going to be
excitement-
really happy, and some are going to hate it.
Yeah, due to the vision lag.
It's going to be full of regret. It's like...
About to come on to the final lap, though, so this is going to be extremely... This is going to be the last chance they got, so if they mess it up now, that's when you know they've lost it. So there's no point trying to push, I think, just mainly... No, sorry, push, this is the push lap. The lap you want to make it perfect.
I think we have a new
It's too
leader.
close.
Yeah, as they cross the
Most of
line,
these guys
Dino
are
becomes the
probably,
leader.
like- Most of these guys are probably like shaking now. Can't blame them. This is insane.
It's just so close. Dollars Killer in P4. The F1 Doggo holds the fastest lap, whilst his teammate is in P1, Dwayne Jacob. So it's a fantastic day for the eSpirits. My days. It's just too close to call.
This is gonna...
And I think once they cross the line, who's gonna win it? We'll have to find out in just a second. We'll find
cross the
out.
Sector 2
Like-
line soon.
Hopefully we don't get a Lance Stroll interruption during that.
Quick run the intro.
quick run the ads.
The timing line is right round this corner, and as it updates, James Rigby is in the lead with Vitesse. Dino only Jacob in P2 for eSpirit, P3 ASDH1 for Vitesse, P4 shared by Faint and Gene in the Brandstott and the McLaren respectively, P6 shared by the F1 Doggo and a Dolly Skiller. It's so close.
They're coming up on this
0.6
start-finish
seconds
straight.
between
Oh,
P8
man.
and P1.
I think we have a clear leader though. Who is that?
I think
As they cross the
I think
line
it's
to
Gene's gonna win the
win,
race.
who's it going to be?
Oh no, that's not a leader. That's a backward.
And it's
leader.
It's Gene and
Oh, it's a tie.
Dino share
no,
the lead.
it's a tie for the lead. It's a
that,
tie for the lead.
that will promote P2, which will be the F1 Doggo, and P3 is James Rigby. That's going to be your podium. That is so close. A second from P1 to P8. Half a second from P1 to P7. That is an incredible finish to the race. And now we're going to wait for the original TTB to come across the line. And then we'll have Dempsey. And then we'll have Inept 1 minute and 30 seconds later. But oh my god, was that
Oh my
intense?
days. Did I not call it? Did I not call it? I said there'd be a tie for the lead.
I
Oh
don't
my
recall that,
days.
but that's insane.
I said there'd be a tie somewhere on the
Good
grid. Is there
job.
any other ties? Is there any other
I
ties? No,
there's a
there's
tie
only
No,
for
I was just a
one.
little bit
P14.
surprised. Oh, well.
Tabos
Ah.
and it's at the points, but Tabos and Christian09 are sharing P15. But the only points sharing position is the lead of this race.
And the vision lag's great. Everyone in the top 8 was probably in the lead on their screen.
Yeah,
But
it's just so close.
for those who are going to try to blame vision lag or lag in general for the loss of whatever they were shooting for, do keep in mind that vision lag affects everyone equally. And so yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do a shared win anyway, not like a who's going to come out first. I think they might just do a shared win, let them both sit on the top step, and then make.
I'm interested. I think in previous cases where we've had ties like this, they just go off what the leaderboard says. And in this case, it would be like Gene's in first on our leaderboard. That would mean Gene won. I don't know.
Well, Ryan
And
Jacobs
Inept
already getting
has crossed the line. What on earth
comfy.
happened there?
Silly Fexelon. Fexelon's going, Dino had a higher ping and won. No, that's not how it works.
As Dwayne Jacobs
That's not
has
how
lined
it
up in
works.
P1, getting comfortable already. He's already getting comfortable. I wouldn't get there just yet.
Previously, where we had a shared podium in Sanya in season 1 of Formula E, the points were both given to both. However, on the podium, they were in separate positions. So I'm not. Oh, they'll figure out what they have to do in race control.
But what were the chances it would be the first place? Like any
I
other
think we're
position.
so excited over the finish. We didn't mention the eSpirit double podium. Good on them, second
Yeah.
and
Fantastic. Well, so far, anyway.
third. Good job, you guys. You got 2 decent drivers. Pretty sure Gene won, but are they sorting it? They should sort it from. Maybe they should look at the fastest laps that the drivers have. Not necessarily go off that, but it'd be nice to see that. I know how to show that actually.
So, who's going to win the race? They haven't announced it yet. I reckon they'll just do, like you said, like June will be the winner. I reckon they'll just do that, to be honest.
Yeah. Abdallah saying it in game chat he was leading for 3/4 of the race on his screen. Yep, that's how it works. Generally, people outside of GT3, F2, and the other series that do sprint races, they never really care about vision lag because it doesn't really affect them during the racing. But when it's this close, you suddenly realize, oh wow, it's not like you see on your screen. So I think those who understand it a little better will be less angry at the result if they are.
It seems Inept Tavor got crashed into fell through the floor. Quite an interesting way to end the race. But wow, that was... What are the chances that it'd be P1? It could have been any other podium position or any other position like that. It just had to be P1.
Any points position, it's the same issue because, like, who does it go to?
As I've just seen it in the chat. Just look at media chat.
Fucking media chat. Let's see what's going on. Deepod's chair broke as they crossed the line. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the power FE races have.
he probably jumped so high as he saw
That's how shocked he was. That's just... Everyone, please come back and watch some more Ion FE.
He broke his chair.
Yeah, so apart from that minor blip that we have we're fine. I'm just gonna try search through all of my old spreadsheets quickly, just to find the old Formula E standings, because I want to see what they did. I remember it was East Sliders and somebody else. They shared a podium position in Sanya last season, so I just want to see what they've done with that, because they may just do the exact same thing again.
I think they just went off the
I'm laughing so
leaderboard.
hard.
It's unfair to go off of ping though. So I mean, and you can't even get full proof of what was the person's ping other than word of mouth. So it's like you don't really want to do that.
I
Okay.
reckon they'll probably announce it as soon as
So-
they get on the podium.
In Sanya, I think. Hang on, let me just look through the remaining positions. Playing the wrong music, but whatever. In Sanya, Castronics and East Sliders shared P2. However, Castronics had the fastest lap, so they got 19 points and East Sliders got 18 points, and I don't think anyone got 15, so they just counted out
So they
third
gave them
position there.
Points.
They gave them
Interesting.
equal points, so I won't be surprised if we see Dino.
Oh, so Fasta just announced the
Get off the
winners as
podium.
both Gene and Dino.
So Gene and
Yeah,
Dino
so
are
they're
going to
both
get the
getting
same
winners'
points.
Wow. I'm
Good job,
surprised
Gene
if
and
they're sharing
Dino.
if they're sharing the top spot. Why didn't they make James Rigby on the podium as well? Then maybe if they bumped
Well,
F1 driver up to P2.
I don't know. Oh, because we have 3 drivers. It's not like we're missing one.
Yeah,
that
so
we
it'd
have
be
to put in
P1,
there.
P1, P2. No, sorry, P1, P1, P3, and then P4. So there wouldn't be any second place. So there's already 3 drivers on the podium. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. Wow, that was a very well. I'm gonna keep saying this. I'm gonna say it till like the day I die. What were the chances?
Very rare, but it's happened anyway. So before we end off today, just want to give a big thank you to all of the members who contribute to the media team. Their support keeps our production quality high, also just aids us in several ways, able to bring more content, better content, more frequently. So thank you everybody in the driver, reserve driver, and the engineer and world champion ranks. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching from me, from Blade Challenger, from Lil Fun Greg. It's been a very exciting race, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
E.